Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And yes, Armageddon has arrived. Doomsday has arrived for Bitcoin, and it's it's very unfortunate, but we're gonna break this down. I have two legends with me, Call from the Moon, Davinci J15, because this is a move that does require breaking down. If you're anxious, if you're stressed, don't be, right? Because it's normal. This happens in crypto, but we're gonna break things down. We're gonna, talk through it, see exactly what happened and what is the next move for Bitcoin. So, Carl, Da Vinci, thank you guys so much for joining. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, guys. Yeah, guys, thanks for joining. Right, so,
Davinci is looking really sad right now.
I know, I
Davinci,
know. He,
Davinci, why
Why
would you
don't
sad? Why do you look so sad? I know the Bitcoin price is dumping, but are we talking about the lost trades here or what happened?
I'm not sad.
You look
Stuff
you're always
happens, right? Like
happy, bro.
really.
This
he
is not
looks
the
What?
like he
happy
lost
Davinci anymore.
$1 million.
I didn't lose $1 million, but no, I was hoping that we would get another pump, but unfortunately there was so much, I mean, bearish signals, right? It was just a hope and a pipe dream, right? We were looking at the sideways, on the angle head and shoulders. We saw the three drives that I showed you the other day. Remember that, Crypto Kid?
Yeah, that was on Banter's show. You showed me that, and wait, hold on. Let me show that because hold on. Let me switch. I was looking at liquidations here, but yeah, let me show you that. So, in fact, I could actually pull up that stream. He was talking about this right over here, this three drivers pattern. So let me find my brush. My brush should be here. So he was talking about this. So this is called a three drivers pattern, or a tilted head and shoulders pattern. And on Banter's show, I actually put this 25K target right there. That was when I put this target. And if you look back on the stream, I was like, oh God, I hope this doesn't happen. And I was hesitating. But you know, look, it was kind of, the problem is, in my opinion, there wasn't any bullish momentum, or we didn't see, well, we had this bullish momentum on the week. We had this uptrend. But right over here, when volatility was beginning to squeeze and not much was happening, see, the way that markets work is when stuff doesn't happen, when we don't get bullish news, or, we don't have a fuel for a pump, um, markets drop. And why do markets drop then, faster than they increase? Because, right, when there is a lack of buyers, right, you don't need only sellers for price to drop. If there's an overall lack of buyers too, then price can also drop. And that's exactly what happened. And we dropped all the way down to 20. Well, on OKX, we dropped down 24.3K. So let's break it down a bit, right? I want to break it down because I don't think it's a good time to be predicting what's going to happen next, because I think we just need the market to cool off a little bit. But we can talk about important lines of resistance, important lines of support, etc. But let's break down clearly what happened, right? So I want to jump into actually let's jump into the 1 hourly time frame, because this wick all the way down to 24K, it was very quick, right? It was very short, it was very snappy. So let's analyze what happened. So we had key levels of support that, I personally hope Bitcoin would break, would hold. And completely transparency here, we were scaling into a long position. And I did think that this 27.9K would be of good support, but we just completely smashed through it. And that's okay. It happens, right? That's why you
Mhm.
got to risk manage very well. Like that position for me, for example, was 2x leverage. So I've lost like $30 or something, which is not significant, right? So you need to risk manage very, very well. Now, see, we tested this the falling wedge on the weekly time frame support, and we tested it. We on the 1 hourly, we tried to stay above it, but not long after, just a couple of hours after, we smashed below it to 27.9K. Now, these candles here tried to keep 27.9K, but nope, we pumped all the way down within this 1 hourly candle down to $24,000. Now, if I look at Bitcoin's history, right, let me pull out my object tree. So let me put the zoom there. The last time we had a massive candle like this was actually a pretty long time ago. It was back in the 14th. Well, no, this was the week of the 7th of November, back in 2022, was when we had a 26% drop. And the drop we had right now was about an 18% drop. But that was the largest candle with body. Like I'm not counting this one there because this one was mostly a wick. So it's a pretty significant candle. And the thing that concerns me now is I talked about this on my video yesterday. Now that we've broken this uptrend on the weekly time frame, so this uptrend right there, we've broken out of it. So now, if we create another lower low, then it's going to be a bearish trend on the weekly, and that's not good whatsoever. So those are my opinions. I'd like to get Carl's TA. I'd like to get Davinci's TA now. So what do you guys think? How did this happen? And what is the 25K was incredible support. So what do you think is going to happen next? And you guys can share your screen, by the way. If you want, let's start with Carl.
Yeah. So personally, I was talking about the big support that was uptrending, but I was also talking for weeks now about the big head and shoulders. That's why I knew that if we break the support, then we're gonna have to jump into a short. Let's see if I'm able to share my screen. I can just show you the quick little shorts that I put. Just a quick one, like something small. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So we broke down from 29,000 down to 26 point, actually all the way down to 25.5 here over on Bitflex, currently at 26.3. So you can see here that I opened up a short that I publicly opened up at 29.3. And I made a tweet saying that, of course, we're looking a little bit bearish and we have the head and shoulders. I'm opening up a short here. And then, of course, we broke down and then I closed it here at 26.7. So made a quick little trade there, made some quick money, I would say. And the main reason for that was the fact that we have such a obvious point of support down here. I think my internet is honestly not the best currently, but I will try to no, my internet is unfortunately lagging for some reason. But I would say that my gut feeling is that from the head and shoulders pattern, we could go down to $20,000 because of the target of the head and shoulders. So I'm not saying we're going there because honestly, I feel like there's a lot of big support levels. That's why I closed my long. So I opened it up because of some weakness. I closed it because I don't think Bitcoin deserves to go much lower. So sometimes I just go quick in, quick out, especially shorting Bitcoin. I don't want to stay short for too long. If I'm going long, you can always just let it go. And very often with Bitcoin, you get lucky and Bitcoin just soars to the upside. But staying short for too long, I try to avoid that. But yeah, that was a quick little win for me and my audience. And that's my quick 2 Satoshis on the Bitcoin price. But I think we can go down a bit lower. I think we saw the worst though.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and massive congratulations, by the way. Look, personally, I did think that we were bearish, and I did think that we were eventually going to break down. But I didn't think it was going to be this quick, honestly, and this down deep. So that surprised me. I know it surprised a lot of people. But Davinci, what are your thoughts, man? I'd love to know your TA and your thoughts.
Yeah, well, this is normal for Bitcoin. A lot of people think, "Oh my God, these huge 20% losses. What the hell? This is not right. It's not right." But it's normal, right? I mean, it's like a roller coaster ride, Bitcoin, right? It's like when you've been on it for long enough, it's like whatever. You're like sleeping on the roller coaster. so, so yeah, I'm just enjoying this ride, and because I know that the Bitcoin will be back up and doing well once again, and people will be cheering it on when we see the all-time high sometime after the halving, right? That's going to happen, but I know that's a year away from now, and so in between time, there's just going to be a lot of chop, a lot of ups and downs, and yeah, not surprised that Bitcoin would be heading back to the 20K sometime soon. But I was hoping it was going to do it later. But I was hoping that we would get all the way up to 40K and then head back down to the 20K, just to because then that would have sucked in the most amount of people and screwed over the most amount of people, most because that's what the market does most of the time. But yeah, as I was telling you, right, that those three drives they didn't look so good. I got a
Yeah,
little
this
bit
one.
too too bullish myself,
Uh-huh.
right? As
Let me
well.
show
I was
that.
thinking, okay, yeah, for sure. There was so much buying pressure, right?
Hmm.
As it was trying to come down that I thought for sure that it would hold. But yeah, once it broke. Not only did it break the bull flag there that you've got there, it also
Yeah, the
broke,
falling wedge.
the falling wedge, yes.
Uh-huh.
It also broke there's a trend line, right? There's a trend
Yeah,
all the way up, right? That it broke that trend as well. So yeah, there you go. And
exactly.
so that's it. So we can see that, the target's easily the 20K-ish area. So
Hmm.
that's where you're going to be, looking for some buys on Bitcoin in the future. Because right now, right, yeah, it's going to probably bounce around the 20K for a long time now. Once it gets down there,
Probably.
unfortunately, um,
Hmm.
that's just the way it is, so that it could keep the most amount of people out of the market for the most amount of time. Because that's the objective of the banksters, is not to make money from this, but to keep you out of it.
Mm.
Yeah. Can um I could actually add to that. So personally, right now there's no like very good news for Bitcoin. Um, the XRP news I think was good for crypto, altcoins, but it was not necessarily very good for Bitcoin because everyone knows that Bitcoin is not a security. So right now, I think we just need some big good news for Bitcoin. Like obviously the ETF would be something that could completely hype up the price and we can go back up. But other than that, it's like a very bearish market with very uh, low amount of good news. And I would like
Yeah.
to actually share my screen once again. I closed I think my computer is going crazy because of medieval empires. I think so. I closed medieval empires now. Let's see if I can do some TA. I love
I
medieval
got it
empires.
open. I got my medieval empires open. I'm playing the game whilst I'm watching doing this.
Yeah, yeah, me too, bro. Me too. Okay, so this is the TA that I wanted to show. So basically, we have this Head and Shoulders, right? And
Hmm.
it's very obvious that if we do the TA, the technical target is all the way down here at 19.5. I opened up my short here, as you can see down here, like I said, open short at 29.3, which is right there. And then I closed it down here, as you can see, at 26.7. And of course, you could make the case that we could go even lower down here, and I think that's very possible. And in fact, if we were to see, let's say a bear flag, then in a bear flag, I will consider opening up a new short where we go down another um, just as much as we went from 29 to 26, we can see another half staff pattern target down. So that's what I'm looking for right now. But all in all, I would say that, yeah, we're looking quite bearish. It was a bearish turn of events, but it was quite expected due to the Head and Shoulders, I would say.
Wow. Okay, cool. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Again, just final words before I end off the video. Stuff like this happens, it's all right. If you do proper risk management, then you're never really too much affected by situations like this. Carl was able to make some cool money. I personally, right, it didn't work out, and that happens, right? You can't win 100% of the time. Of course, I have my long-term portfolio, and every time Bitcoin drops, right, I always scalp up from lows, right? So now is, in my opinion, a good time to go in for a hodl position in terms of spot, but yeah, be prepared for anything at the moment. And when hopefully in the next couple of hours or in 1 to 2 days, when we see a clear something clear form up, indicating a further drop or a pushback towards the upside, we will be updating you guys. So That's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Guys, make sure to subscribe to Carl and Davinci if you aren't already. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Take care, everyone. Thank you guys for coming on, and see you all in the next video very soon. Take care, guys, and bye-bye.